Yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts, NYJ Matt. And Matt, we have no choice but to come onto this public forum and discuss how Asante Samuel is just saying ridiculous things on Twitter about New York Jets cornerbacks.
Mike, I live for days like this where you can take everything in your bookmarks, every meme, every video you have, and use it to just attack one individual who is saying nonsense on the timeline. It's like when Kendall Jenner has the Pepsi commercial where she hands the can and two people come together. Like Patriot fans are locking arms with Jet fans right now, and we're all saying fuck Asante Samuel. It is an unbelievable day. The content has been great. Mike, I think you were at work, and I was like, we got to do a video. So what was your reaction when you saw it?
Yeah. So basically, the first thing that I saw was Asante Samuel's tweet at Revis, which was check the history books. Like basically, like he doesn't know that Revis is like has a better pedigree than him, which is a hilarious thing to tweet. So, well, just to go back to the beginning. So Asante Samuel basically said that Sauce Gardner is very good, but gets a boost from the New York media, which is annoying in its own right, but we can go into that in a second. And then Revis came back at Asante and was like, not true. DJ Reed is attacking Asante Samuel. And then Asante Samuel went back at Revis. And then Revis said that the game plan when the Jets played Asante Samuel's team was to try to like do double moves at him and beat him. And then Asante's like, yo, like, I'm better than you. Go check the history books, which is a hilarious thing to say.
Here's the important factor is that this has been leading up. It's been bubbling. Asante Samuel has been on the anti-Sauce propaganda machine for months now. And if your take is Tariq Woolen is better, I disagree. The numbers disagree. But you can have that argument and that take and move on. And at first it was, hey, I think Sauce is good. But then it's like people don't know ball. Go get interceptions, but then saying Patrick Surtain is the best corner in the NFL when he didn't have the insane production numbers. And then he talked about how he won, and the Broncos were fucking terrible last year. Everything he kept saying kept getting ratioed, and I'm grinning ear to ear because I pray for times like this. It is when everyone can collectively lock arms, and again, everything he has, he just keeps saying the wrong thing. Like he used gamefacts.gamespot.com to talk about having a better 2010 year than Revis. Like, what are we doing? And he keeps going. I'm looking through it. It's unbelievable.
He doesn't stop. But the comment that really got me though is the one that I just mentioned, where he's like telling Revis to check the history books. And I tweeted, I said it's like if Kevin Love tweeted at or said to Tim Duncan, go check the record books. What the fuck are we talking about?
It's a really good comparison, but also Kevin Love is likely going to be in the Hall of Fame. Like he's going to walk into the Hall of Fame. I don't think.
I pick Kevin Love because I feel like he's a comparable guy, like a very, very good player. Had some really gaudy years, won a championship. I know Asante Samuel won two, like couple of Pro Bowl All-Star games for both of them. It's because Asante Samuel's a terrific player, but what are we doing? Like, what are we talking about? It's insane.
And if his take was if Revis wasn't the first ballot yet and he was still on the ballot and didn't get in this year, or Revis didn't win a Super Bowl, you start making the arguments, oh, the history books, whatever. He was right about one thing. You cannot write the NFL history books without him because of this play right here where he dropped a fucking pick and lost his team a Super Bowl. So he's right. You can't write the history books without him. Position A. Justin, I can't. We live for moments like this, Mike, and I'm so happy that real players like Darius Slay and Richard Sherman are like, dude, get the fuck out of here. DJ Reed has his back. The boys have his back. And again, if his take ended at, I like Tariq Woolen better, I think Sauce is a great player. Here are my facts. I'm going to go enjoy my Tuesday night.
The normal take. That's so fine. And it's probably statistically not true, but you can, again, it's not crazy based on what happened last year, yada, yada, yada. But then the other thing that bothered me is the New York media aspect of it. For one, is because the Jets have just been a laughing stock for the right reasons or for the wrong reasons for our whole lives. So the thing that pissed us off and made us start these Twitter accounts is that from 1997 to 2011, the Jets are a very above average franchise with 3 championship game appearances, 7 playoff appearances, all these winning seasons, Hall of Fame players, normal franchise stuff. And still it's all we heard growing up is same old Jets, which is ridiculous. And then now the last few years they suck anyway for the last 10 years. All we hear is that the Jets suck, this, that. The media makes a joke out of them. The butt fumble is the top play for fucking 2 years on SportsCenter, not top 10. Meanwhile, Jacoby Myers can throw the ball backwards and make the play. Patriots miss the playoffs. Nobody gives a shit. It's not top 10. It's not a worst play. So to hear that Sauce is getting the benefit of the doubt because he plays for the Jets as a more dominant player than anybody else is very, very obnoxious. And then the other thing that pisses me off is you want to talk about Seahawks cornerbacks. The Seahawks defensive backs in the mid 2000s are probably the most popular position group in sports over the last like 10 years. You want to talk about the media hyping up the Legion of Boom, but no, Tariq Woolen plays for the Seahawks, so he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt that Sauce does. Give me a break.
Also, you can't have it both ways. How can the New York media be the big, bad, evil group and then also be the one that props up every single player? It's very inconsistent, Mike. And then to wrap it up, though, I think that everything is going to be hilarious for this. I think it'll continue to happen because Asante Samuel, to his credit, isn't going to back down. But the New York media comment and the root cause of all of it is very simple, and I outlined it. Asante Samuel thinks he's a best corner of his era. And cornerbacks are very cocky, and he thinks that him and Revis are on the same level, and that Revis got the bump because of the New York media. So he's taking it out on Sauce a decade later. That's it.
Right. Yeah, 100%. You nailed it. You tweeted that out. You nailed it. And then again, like just all of the inconsistencies throughout this whole thing today are so funny. Like you brought up the Pat Surtain stats. So again, like Samuel saying that Tariq Woolen has had a better year because of more interceptions, even though Sauce had more passes defended, whatever. And then he says that, and then someone tweeted at him, "Who's your number one?" I think it was Sauce. He's like, "Who's your number one corner this year?" To Asante Samuel, and Asante Samuel was like Pat Surtain, and then Pat Surtain has 2 interceptions. So does Sauce, and he has 10 less passes defense. What are we doing? They're both first team All Pros. What are we doing?
What a day! Like anything we forgot to bring in.
I don't know. That was electric, and I didn't see it. You're right until you texted me at like 4:00. And you're like, we have to do an Asante Samuel video. And I was like, did the Jets get Asante Samuel Jr. is what I thought happened I don't know. I was like, all right, that's interesting. And then I look on Twitter and this is what is occurring.
I love that I love that Revis talked about their inner meetings clowning Asante Samuel being terrible against double moves. Unbelievable.
And then it sounded like, what happened in your meeting? It's like, I'm sure everyone is game planning to throw the ball on the other side of the field. That's what people do when the Revis is playing. I cannot believe he said, check the history books. I cannot believe it. That is insane. For a person who's not in the Hall of Fame to tell a person who's in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot Hall of Famer, check the history books. You cannot do that and then have any basis ever in any argument. It doesn't matter what he's arguing about. He could be arguing about food or a movie. You just can never be in an argument again. It's insane. He should be suspended from Twitter and everything. I don't know. They should suspend Asante Samuel Jr.
Banished to Threads for a month.
You can't
to learn a lesson.
You can't spread information like this on the interwebs.
I have a great photo. It is the meme of the guy with like the deuce in front of the grave. It's the Jets logo and Jets Twitter, and then it'll be Asante Samuel on Twitter. All right, Mike, we'll call it there. If you made this far, hit like, hit subscribe, and we're going to be back.
Yes, sir.